Hello again, everyone. I'm Charles Gross.
And I'm Leslie Hoban Blake. Welcome to Two on the Aisle.
And tonight we have a very interesting show to tell you about.
This is a strange play. Not a Strange Loop, which is another show we're going to be seeing, but a strange play. I have to say that the first act of this play, Skin of Our Teeth, is the best show I've seen on Broadway all year. The first act. This is a 3-act, very long play. This play goes back to 1942 at the beginning of America being in World War II, but it came 3 years after his Pulitzer Prize winning Our Town, and it won a Pulitzer. This play won a Pulitzer in 42. So within 3 years, Thornton Wilder had won 2 Pulitzer Prizes. Our Town was understood and universally loved and played all over the world. Skin of Our Teeth was totally not understood. Act 1 is set somewhere in the Ice Age, but there are people living in a little house in New Jersey, as if it were decorated for an opera. It's a gigantic set. It's gorgeous. And it's directed like an opera, big movements. And the star of the first act is Sabina the maid, played by a wonderful actress named Gabby Beans, who was channeling Eartha Kitt. I've never seen anybody do it that well. I've never seen anybody do it at all. And she starts saying things and weird things, and then she comes out to the front of the audience. She says, I don't know what these words mean. I don't know what this play means. And that's how most people feel about it. But the first act is big and bright and gorgeous. It has a dinosaur, a brontosaurus, as a matter of fact, and a woolly mammoth.
And I have to say, at times I was wondering, I'm wondering if the dinosaur and the mammoth are stealing the show. And is this where the Flintstones got the idea? What I want to point out is there is a biblical theme. This family is supposed to be Adam and Eve and their son Cain, who has a habit of throwing rocks at people. And there is a daughter involved too. The first act is basically, how are we going to deal with the Ice Age? The second act, same family in Atlantic City. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a really cool sliding pond in the back that people are
there's a wonderful set in the back.
Down. This is kind of the Noah's Ark stage, because disaster is coming, and you have one of our favorites, Priscilla Lopez, as a fortune teller. She has a brief role, but a very good time of it. It's, again, a little strange. The man who kind of is the Adam metaphor is tempted by another woman, but at the end, the family has to get on the ark and save the world. The third act, they kind of lose the biblical theme. He shows up wearing a Civil War uniform, so...
But you see, it's the end of the war, and Adam and his son come back. And each of them Adam is in the Union Army, and his son is in the Confederate Army. They are at odds. They've always been at odds. Now they're out and out enemies. And it's a scene. Also, by the way, in the first act, there are a lot of refugees coming from the Ice Age. Refugees is a theme also. They come back in Act 3, and in Act 3 they're refugees from war. Mm-hmm. But it's the same concept of where do they go, who takes them in, what do we do?
Right. How do we... And I don't know, this play is, in many ways, I think it's what you make of it.
I agree with you, and I now understand the play. It's taken, I won't say how many years, the umpty-ump years for me to get it, but boy, do I get this play now. Boy, do
All
I
right,
understand.
then within 60 seconds, and I'm going to time it, tell me what this play is about. 60 seconds, on your mark, get set, go.
The human race had damn well better clean up its act, because we have very little time left. We had a little more time left when it was written. We have less time now than we had when he wrote the play, and the concept of the play is clean up your act or the world will end for good.
That's 30 seconds, and yeah, could be. You know, I would say that the world was in more danger of ending during World War II than it is now. But again, it's how you see it.
If ever there was a time for this play, it's this minute in time.
Okay, if you say so. Your conclusion.
Well, my conclusion is, as you said, the play is what you make of it. But I think, given the first act alone and the setting, the operatic sets that are in there, filling the Lincoln Center stage, the terrific acting job done by everybody, not just Gabby Beans, and I mean, I could name some people.
Oh, go for it.
Rosalind Ruff as the mother.
Yeah, and don't forget James Vincent Meredith as the father.
I cannot forget him as the father. Brandon Jacobs Jenkins added material. It's very minuscule. It's a line in the play about the fact that the play had been postponed for 2 weeks and people had gotten ill. That was in the original script. That was not about COVID. I mean, it's amazing. It's almost eerie. And the set design, Adam Rigg, the set designer, unbelievable. Just, as I say, operatic.
And your conclusion?
Well, obviously, as I said, I love the first act. Best thing I've seen all year. So the first act gets 5. Then it goes a little bit, so then I would say maybe 3. So if I add a 5 and a 3, don't I get a 4? Good solid 4.5, because I'm including the sets.
I have to say, this was my first experience with the play. I do not have the familiarity that you had. I just came in knowing it's a Thornton Wilder play, knowing of its existence, and frankly was very interested in seeing it. I do appreciate the sets. It's interesting how timely the play is. You're right. I think eerie is a very good word. But given the impression that it made on me, I can only give it 3 playbills. And that is our show for today. And when you go to the theater, look for Leslie and me, us too,
on the aisle.